All right. Next, the chair calls Andy Kahan. All right, Andy, we show you registered as Andy Kahan on behalf of the Crime Stoppers of Houston, and you are registered for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed.
I'm Andy Kahan, Director of Victim Services, Crime Stoppers of Houston. I heard some scuttlebutt that I had a poster of all the victims that have been murdered by defendants released on felony bond. I have now been told that I cannot show the poster board. So for the record, if they do want to take me into custody, you are not looking at pictures of all the victims. If you do want to look at it, I guess that's up to you on that. We support this bill. We support Senate Bill 6, which would eliminate felony PR bonds for most violent offenses, would mandate judges and magistrates have defendants' entire criminal history before ruling on bond, and specifically requiring data regarding defendants released on bond to include new offenses. Crime is up, ladies and gentlemen, and it's due to bail. That's not my words. That's the District Attorney Kim Ogg of Harris County. Right now, I have charted over 127 murders. Normally, I would actually show you some of their faces, but I'm not allowed to do that. Over 90 have occurred since 2020. A majority of the victims murdered by defendants released on multiple felony bonds or felony PR bond would be classified as people of color and or minorities. I've heard a lot of discussion here today about cost and everything, but I've not heard one person talk about the cost of victimization, on what it costs for crime victims who are shot, what it costs for someone's loved one who can no longer provide for it. One of the court judges was asked by a reporter on a guy that was out on 10 felony bonds, when is enough is enough? The judge responded, I don't have that luxury of saying enough is enough. This is why we need this legislation. This right here, 62-year-old habitual criminal killed in a shootout last week.
Mr. Anna, you need to wrap it up because you heard the buzzer twice.
Sure, where the constable was freed from jail despite having 20 felony convictions, was on a felony bond, a cash bond, then was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and was given a PR bond. He died in a shootout. Thankfully, law enforcement was not injured or shot. We had 2 shootouts last
Are
week.
there any questions of Mr. Kahan? Representative Claudia is going to give you a lifeline.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Sir, I would appreciate it for my benefit if you would show me the poster that you brought.
Can you assure me I will not be taken into custody?
And I'm asking the question. I don't think you'll be taken into custody today because of a member asked you to
Fair enough.
share information with the committee.
I was actually told if I did.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Because I think it's important, sir, and thank you for bringing that with us, because I'm getting increasingly frustrated by people who want to come before this committee and marginalize the human loss that has happened because of the abuse of the bond system in this state. And I just want to thank you for bringing that with us and let you know there's many of us feel this way. And I think, in fact, you will see very shortly a majority of us feel this way, not only on this committee, but on the floor of the Texas House. So thank you for being here. Sorry for your loss. Thank you for your work and how you've turned something so tragic into something so powerful. So
I'm just going to make one comment here, and this is 80-year-old Rosalie Cook, grandma, walking out of Walgreens in Maryland, shot and killed by a defendant who's been convicted 60 times, who was out on a felony PR bond. I speak on behalf of her. I speak on behalf of so many people who have been victimized by repeat defendants released time and time again. Something has to happen. Too many people are being harmed by a system that, for whatever reason, we need to get a grip on this. I'm asking everybody to please come together. PR bonds have quadrupled in Harris County in 2 years. And I'm talking PR bonds for murder, aggravated assault, sexual assault, and aggravated robbery.
well, Thank you, sir. And I speak for myself, but also I think many, many others. We hear you, and we hear you loud and clear.
Thank you.
Representative White.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Andy, I see the title of your poster is Felony Bond Reform, Crime Stoppers. What has been your position, what's been the position of the Crime Stopper folks on misdemeanor bail reform?
We supported misdemeanor bail reform. We have no qualms with it. I think it's been absolutely fantastic. Our issue is not on someone actually getting out on bond. We have no issue with someone being released on bond. Make no mistake about it. Where we draw the line is what we're seeing right here is repeatedly being released time and time again. When you had a 24-year-old mother that Mayor Turner held a press conference because the defendant was out on 7 felony bonds and shot and killed her and a 1-year-old, that gets attention.
Okay.
I think you're seeing everybody. So we're dealing with felonies only. We support misdemeanor bond reform. We are only looking at felonies.
Thank you, sir.
Members, are there any further questions? As always, Andy, it's good to see you. We have Kadia Eversman Stevens.
Thank you.